Question 2 from the Tech Free. Simplify the following expression. The key strategy to this question is to break larger numbers, like 27 and 9, into smaller numbers. Also, since we're dividing fractions, you'll need to change this into a times and then flip this over. One of the problems that when I was correcting this is that in order to achieve a mark, I needed to see certain procedures rather than random working out. I'm going to show you how I would do this particular question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly make sure that I break up any big numbers into something smaller. So 3, h to the power of 4, m to the power of negative 2, p3, y4, over 3 squared, y to the negative 2, p squared, m to the power of 4, divided by 3 cubed, y p to the negative 1, m squared, over 3 squared, y to the negative 2, p to the negative 3 over 2, m all squared. Then what I would do is I would then go and square each of the components inside the bracket. So this becomes I won't times it yet, I'll keep the divide symbol there. So 3 cubed to the power of 2 is 3 to the power of 6. This becomes y squared, this becomes p to the negative 2, this becomes m to the power of 4, over 3 to the power of 4, y to the negative 4, p, 3 halves times 2, well the 2's would cancel out, so that just becomes negative 3, and that'll be m squared. Now, what we can do now, so that would have got me a mark for getting the correct squaring in there. So now I can do my flipping of things over. So when you're dividing fractions, it's the same as timesing the reciprocal, which means I times and then flip this one upside down. Now at this point, I can go and cancel some things out. So for example, we'll see if we can find anything that is identical. So that would be the first thing that I would try to see if there's anything identical. No, I don't think there's anything exactly identical. So what we can do is we can go and do some subtraction. So 3 squared, that will make that a squared. What we can do here is we can go and cancel out this m squared, and that m to the power of 4 there will become just m squared because they will minus the indices. This m to the power of 4, nothing here that's particularly nice. Let's see, h to the power of 4. Oh, it looks like h to the power of 4 is going to stay as is because there's no other h's in here. P3 and divided by P2, so it's just going to be P because we subtract the indices when we do this. Y, so 4 minus 2 is going to make that y to the power of 6. Negative 2 minus 4 is going to make that minus 6. M to the power of 2, or m to the negative 6 divided by m to the 2 is going to make that negative 8. Y 3 to the power of 2 divided by 3 to the power of 6 is going to make that, so 2 take away 6 is negative 4. Y squared, y to the power of negative 4 divided by y squared, so negative 4 minus 2 is going to make that y to the negative 6. P to the negative 3 minus 2 is going to make that p to the negative 1. And we'll rewrite what we've got here after all our cancelling out. So this becomes 3h power of 4, m to the negative 8, p y to the power of 6 times by 3 to the negative 4 y to the power of negative, so that's going to become y to the power of negative 6, p to the negative 1, and now we just add the indices like we did in question 1. So this becomes 3 to the power of 1 times by 3 to the power of negative 4. It's going to be 3 to the power of negative 3, h to the power of 4, m to the negative 8, there's no other m's, p to the power of 1 times by p to the negative 1 is going to make those disappear, because 1 plus negative 1 is 0. So that'll be p to the power of 0. Y to the power of 6, take away, so y to the power of 6 times by y to the negative 6 is going to make that y to the power of 0. Now, remember, anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So this will become 3 to the negative 3, h to the power of 4, m to the negative 8, times 1 times 1. And in order to get positive indices, we'll put the negative ones in the denominator. And this would become h to the power of 4. 3 to the power of 3 is 27, m 8. So there would have been a mark for some working out here, mark for the final answer, and there was also going to be a mark for some simplification here when everything's all lovely and simplified.